Do you have some expensive, super rare, super special guitars that you love more than anything else? Well, why not buy some cheap wall mount hangers on Amazon and hang those things on your wall? Okay, so maybe that sounds pretty stupid when it's worded that way, but getting into the idea of actually doing that, it didn't seem that stupid to me. So I was recently redecorating this room and I wanted to have spots on my wall where I could hang two of my favorite guitars, especially two of the guitars that I don't actually play that often and are more just collector's items like trophies. You can sort of see them behind me. I'll have some pictures for you. So I've never really did a wall mount, wall hanger guitar thing before. I was hoping that there was a design that sort of holds the guitar at 3 points. So like the point at the headstock and then 2 points beneath the body, sort of like you would find on a typical standing guitar hanger. And then I saw they don't make that, and I realized that's pretty simple why they don't make it, because it wouldn't really make any sense, because you can't have the weight simultaneously on both of those places unless you were like specifically mounting it in a way that was like perfect for that guitar. At least that's what I think, but you certainly can't get anything like that. There are sideways mounts that kind of keep the guitar in place in multiple spots, but if you want to get a vertical wall mount hanger thing for your guitar, you pretty much have to go with the design that has just the place where it holds the guitar at the headstock. So I did find that there are some of them that have this system where in front of the guitar, there's sort of like a latch that closes when there's the weight of the guitar pulling down on it. So you simply lift the guitar and then you're able to pull it forward, but until you lift it, it won't come forward. And I liked that additional layer of security, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I found these SONDERY wall hangers on Amazon.com. They had great reviews and they were comparable to the Hercules brand hangers, which is what Guitar Center sells, and I mean Amazon has them as well and are kind of like the standard for this type of design for a hanger. So I saw that the reviews were fantastic. They were a bit cheaper than the Hercules stand, so I figured it's probably the same thing, so I'll get them. So I got them with the help of my dad. We installed them in the wood studs. I would never hang my guitars on something mounted in drywall. That's up to you if you want to take the risk. You could always get like metal anchors if you want to be more secure in that. The plastic anchors that a lot of these stands come with for drywall, I would never be comfortable with. Maybe they work, but you know, that doesn't sound really secure when you're hanging something so valuable from it. But anyway, got them all set up, guitars are hanging, everything's looking good, and I'm not comfortable. Now, the circumstances result in me not being comfortable because my two most special guitars, if you haven't seen the video about that SG over there, actually, you might want to watch it. There's only one of those, to my knowledge, in this entire world, and you can't get it anywhere at all. So yeah, just hang that on the wall, you know. Definitely did not make me too comfortable. And this persisted for a few days. The guitars were hanging just fine. And also you can see that I'm holding this really, really beautiful guitar. And that is because it's really pretty and it has nothing to do with the video. But anyway, so this was about like 2 or 3 a.m. I'm lying in bed just kind of like sweating thinking about my guitars on the wall and just knowing that I might maybe hear like some kind of dreadful noise and no. Like these guitars are hanging above, or they're quite high on the wall, and they're also hanging above like a bunch of other guitars, and there's a wood floor. Like everything's fucked. If one of them goes down, everything's fucked. So yeah, so I decided to go and look further into the reviews on the SONDERY hangers, which I probably should have done in the first place. And I decided to see what are the worst reviews. I decided to sort by the worst reviews. Let's see if somebody has their guitar fallen off the wall with these hangers, right? So before I even scrolled down to the Amazon review section, I noticed in the product title, and if you buy things on Amazon, which you probably do, these product titles are really long. It's like a CVS receipt. You know, they just keep on going because they tell you everything. It probably has to do with SEO and stuff like that. Right on the bottom of the title, the product description, it says, "Not for nitro." So if anyone doesn't know what that means, nitro refers to the nitrocellulose finish used on Gibson guitars and probably some others, but Gibson pretty much does all of their guitars like that. So this SG has them. Now, this is actually not my first time hearing about nitro finishes being potentially damaged by cheap foam. I have a very cheap 7 guitar stand thingy behind me that I got many, many years ago. And when I got that, originally my SG was in that, but I immediately put some cloth napkins around the contact points so that way the finish would not get damaged and it was fine. For some reason, I just figured the SONDERY hangers would be fine, and they weren't. So right after that, I'm already sweating. At that point, I'm already like, well, I can't do this. So then I start looking at their reviews, and the most horrible reviews that there were had nothing to do with people's guitars falling off the wall. They were all about their finishes being damaged by the foam. And this was not limited to people with nitrocellulose finish. So that foam was messing up a lot of people's guitars. Now, frankly, probably it was still a small minority because there were tons of 5-star reviews, people who had the product for a long time with no complaints. But obviously, I could not keep my 2 most valuable guitars in a state where the finish might get damaged by the foam. Especially, it's summer here in New York. It gets very hot. The guitars are pretty close to the ceiling, and I'm pretty close to the roof of my building. So yeah, needless to say, I got out of bed and took both guitars down and put them in their stands. Returned these in the next few days, and I ordered the Hercules ones. I did a lot of research to make sure the Hercules ones were not only safe and reliable in the sense of just keeping the guitars on the wall, but also to make sure that their foam was safe. And I did multiple things to confirm this. One of them was asking ChatGPT, which is a very, maybe not reliable, but very useful source. I said, is the foam in the SONDERY wall hanger safe on nitrocellulose? And it basically said yes. Then I went on to, not SONDERY, Hercules. Hercules, not on the SONDERY. Don't buy the SONDERY. So then I went on to Hercules' website and confirmed that, it's weird, they don't actually, in the product description, it doesn't list anything about the foam being safe, but if you go to their FAQ section, I think it was like the first question was, is your stuff safe on nitrocellulose finishes? And it says, we've done extensive testing in extremely hot temperatures with nitrocellulose, all different kinds of guitars, and we found the foam to be completely safe. They did have a disclaimer saying, like, we can't guarantee that it'll be safe for everything, you know, contact your guitar manufacturer. They definitely tested it with like Gibsons and stuff. I'm pretty confident that's going to be safe. If you guys have the Hercules stands, you can let me know something about them in the comments if you've had a positive experience. Nobody in the reviews anywhere on both Amazon and Guitar Center for the Hercules stands said anything about them damaging the finish. Pretty much the only complaints I saw were people having them pop out of the wall slightly when they use drywall anchors, and again, I would never do that, so they're right into the studs. So yeah, moral of the story is a kind of obvious one, but one that might only seem obvious after you've learned your lesson. Do your research, be careful what you buy, and consider that if you're purchasing something that is taking care of something so expensive and so valuable, then you also need to make sure that that thing is as high quality as it can get. Now, you know, I may sound like an idiot here with all of this, but like I said, the product had good reviews. I've never bought a wall mount before for a guitar, so for all I know, this could have been the best brand. And even then, I still was not comfortable, and I still did the research and figured things out pretty late. Now, I guess I could turn this into a mini review of the Hercules stands. There's not much to say. My guitars right now are mounted on the Hercules stands. The design is very similar to the SONDERY. One thing I like about these that the SONDERY didn't have is that you kind of had to put the SONDERY together, like the wooden thing that screws into the wall and the little thing that juts out that connects to the guitar hanger itself was kind of 2 pieces on the SONDERY, or at least it could come out. It could only come out through the back, so it's not like your guitar could pull it out of the wall. But this was, when you get the Hercules stands like this, granted the box was kind of open on both of them, but they are completely constructed. So even when you're screwing this onto the wall, the thing that the guitar hangs from is right there. You can't You might be able to take it out, but I certainly couldn't. Or it was not taken out from default. Both of them have this sort of tilting mechanism, so if your headstock is not symmetrical, you should be fine in that regard. Hopefully, because there's like a point where you turn it and it stops, which I assume is meant to support a lot of weight. So the Hercules stands installed just as easily as the SONDERY ones. Just screw them into the stud, obviously not in the same holes to make sure everything is stable and sturdy. And they work more or less the same when your guitar is hanging from them. It will not open the little saloon doors right there, and that's how that will go. So yeah, guys, hopefully this video was interesting or insightful for some of you. If you like the kind of stuff I do on this channel, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. We actually just hit 500 subscribers on this channel, and I really appreciate that because I didn't think this channel was going to get anywhere like that, but people really like hearing me complain about Ibanez's warranty, even though I wasn't really complaining about it, and I kind of like how that all turned out. But I guess watch that video because it's got a lot of views, and maybe you'll like it too. So yeah, thanks for watching. All the stuff, like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll catch you in another one real soon. Bye-bye. Do you have some rare, super expensive, super special guitars that what?